Wagwan Sakap Fet, what's good Does Nation, what's good YouTube family. Welcome back to another video, man. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my homemade lotion. Now a little background on me, for those of you guys that don't know, for those of you that are not a part of Does Nation and you're new to the channel, my name is Dudley, aka Dudley Does. Just watch the channel trailer and you'll get a whole idea of what the channel is about. But this is another DIY video where I'm gonna show you how I make my lotion. I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised for my first half of life in New York, and then I ended up moving up to Florida. But recently, I have been living on the West Coast in the desert, and so my skin has been at an all-time high dry.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
So when I lived in New York, we had brutal winters, and my skin would get so dry that it would flake up and it would crust and I started bleeding. And I tried all the store-bought lotions, St. Ives, and you know, whatever brand there is in the store now. I'm not really sure because I haven't bought lotion in a long time. But none of the store-bought lotions would ever do anything for me. And so I would always have to use Vaseline. That was like the only thing that works. But as I've grown and I've become more health conscious, I'm very particular about not only the stuff that I consume, you know, internally and eat, but as well as the stuff that I put on my body topically. And so I do the best I can to ensure that I have the best quality of life. With that being said, I use holistic ingredients for everything. And I much prefer to make my stuff at home anyway, because I can mediate and look at what's being put on my skin. So with that being said, family, I'm about to show you guys the ingredients. So these are the ingredients, family. This is the base right here. I have raw African shea butter. I will link all of these below. I bought all of these, well, not all of these, but I bought a good majority of these off of Amazon. So this shea butter actually came from Ghana, so I got this. So anyway, the base is raw unrefined shea butter. I find that this really works well on hydrating my skin. Now, yes, we do all have different skin, but I know for myself, as an African man, I just find that shea butter has the consistency and thickness of what I need, because I have extremely dry skin. I've always suffered from dry skin, and so this is almost like Vaseline in a sense. It's very thick, but I've also found out that on its own, this doesn't keep me the most hydrated. I've tried using just shea butter and it kept me hydrated for a couple of hours, but then being in the Las Vegas desert in like 8 to 12 hours, like I would wake up and my skin would be back to flaky, so I got very frustrated. So I designed this whole concoction right here, you feel me? So this is the base. So I'm gonna show you in a little bit how I make all of this, how I melt this down. Next up, I got vitamin E oil. Now, vitamin E oil is very good for elasticity. It's also good for antioxidants and enriching the skin, okay? It heals dried and cracked skin, and it's also good for your hair. So this has a lot of cosmetic benefits, and I actually use this for my hair oil too, but that's a different video. I love using this because this actually helps with stretch marks and scars. And I actually have a lot of scars on my body from doing a lot of crazy stuff as a kid. So this actually helps with scars and all that stuff, and like just, you know, saggy skin, anti-aging and stuff like that. So I utilize this for hair and skin as well. Now this right here, this is my favorite. This is actually almond oil. Now, in all of the store-bought lotions I've found, you know what I mean, that I stopped using, they never hydrated my skin. I would always have to put a bunch on, and I just felt like as if, you know, I was wasting my money. If I had to pick one ingredient out of all of these that I would use, it would probably be almond oil. This is, in my opinion, what I've experienced, this is the most hydrating oil I've ever used on my skin, and I love it. And it has such a nice almondy aroma, right? So this is also a prominent ingredient in this, I'm not sure, you feel me, like what to call it, potion, I guess, right? So this is a very important ingredient in my lotion potion, because it hydrates so much. So when I pair this up with the shea butter and the vitamin E oil, by the way, this actually has vitamin E as well. So not only can you cook with this, but this is also good for promoting elasticity in the skin and healthy hydrated skin. So I love this. Now, Moving on to my next ingredient, right? I have Jamaican castor oil. Now, a lot of people use this for hair. I use it for hair as well. And actually in Haiti, we call it l'huile muscati, and we use it for all types of stuff, right? All types of spiritual stuff. But this is actually rich in antioxidants, and so I use this for my skin and my hair as well. This is also good for like stretch marks and all that stuff. I use this for how rich it is in antioxidants, so I love it for that. The scent isn't the best. It has a very thick, earthy scent, but this is why right here I have my frankincense essential oil. Damn, the camera is just not behaving today. So this is why I have my frankincense essential oil. Now, family, I apologize because the camera isn't doing the best job of focusing right now, but this is frankincense essential oil. Now, I typically use this as aromatherapy. This is actually a scent that the ancestors are very well pleased with because it's a very sweet scent. But for the purpose of my lotion, I use this to bring a pleasant scent. Jamaican black castor oil has a very thick, earthy scent that a lot of people don't like. I personally don't like that scent being on my skin. And so that's the reason why I fuse all these oils together. The almond oil has a very good nutty scent, and the vitamin E oil for this one has a hint of lavender. But I feel like the frankincense just adds a whole nother good scent to it. So without further ado, man, I'm gonna show you guys how I make it. Alright, so the first ingredient, as I said before, was shea butter. So this is how it looks, and again, I'm gonna link it down below. Now, in case you guys didn't know, I'm Haitian, so I didn't grow up measuring anything. So I don't really know how much I put in here typically. I typically just, you know, eyeball it. I mean, I'm gonna throw the whole thing in there, yo. I'm gonna throw the whole brick in there. We don't measure stuff on my house, man, I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I have the shea butter inside my clear bowl right now. You can feel free to use whatever bowl you want to use. But the reason I'm using the glass bowl is because I'm gonna put it in the microwave. And I know that if I were to use a plastic Tupperware, it would probably melt. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave for probably 2 to 3 minutes and melt it down to just the oil, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, so I'm gonna put it inside the microwave. As you can see, the shea butter brick, and we're gonna put it in there for 2 minutes. Boom, boom, good start.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I took the shea butter out of the microwave and I actually put it in there for about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Now, it's gonna be melted like this. Make sure that you use some oven mittens or something to grab it because the bowl is gonna be hot. So I'm just gonna stir it around and break down the other solid pieces. And as you can see, once it's melted down, it just looks like a regular oil. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna add in the almond oil. Now, as I said earlier, I'm Haitian. So I didn't grow up measuring anything. You feel me? So I'm not really gonna measure anything. You know, I could, but I just don't measure anything. So I'm gonna drop the almond oil in it. If I had to guess how much, I would say probably a cup or so. You know what I'm saying? So I'll drop that in there. Next, I'm gonna drop the vitamin E oil. Okay, again, I said I don't measure. So I'm gonna drop that. And I gotta save some of this for my hair potion that I'm gonna make. So I would say that was probably 1/4 of a cup or so. Now for the Jamaican black castor oil, I'm not gonna use as much for this because this does have a very distinctive scent. So that's about it. So in comparison to the other oils, for the Jamaican black castor oil, I didn't use that much. I'd probably say that was probably 3 tablespoons or so. Now I'm gonna add my frankincense. This is what's gonna make this smell great. So for the frankincense, I'm just gonna allow probably 15 drops or so. I'm not sure if the camera is showing that, but I'm just gonna allow it to just drop in there because this is gonna give the lotion a very good scent. Okay, I smell it, stir it around. Now, be mindful that you don't have to use frankincense. If you have a citrus essential oil or you have another scent that you are more pleased with, then by all means, feel free to use whatever scent you want to use. I personally like the scent of frankincense. I like myrrh, I like lime oil, eucalyptus, and sometimes, and stuff like that. So feel free to use whatever essential oil you want for scent. But this is what I like personally. So I'm gonna stir it around, and I'm just gonna gauge based off the scent how good it smells. So right now I can still smell the castor oil is overpowering it. So I'm gonna add some more drops of frankincense. Stir it around. Okay, so at this point, the lotion is pretty much almost ready. So now what I'm gonna do, yeah, it smells right. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this in the freezer for probably anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour and a half, because on some days it hardens up quicker, on some days it doesn't. It really just depends on the temperature of my apartment, which is weird. But I'm gonna add this in the freezer for anywhere between 20 minutes to an hour and a half. So I'll see you guys after it is done solidifying. So at about 40 minutes, it started to solidify a little bit. So I went ahead and just took it out the freezer to demonstrate how I would add it into a smaller container if I was giving it to a family member or friend. But I normally just keep it in the bowl because it's only me using it in the crib. But as you can see, it's still in an oily form, but I just take like a spoon or something and pour it inside the cup or container. And then I normally either stick it back in the freezer or I store it somewhere that's relatively cool. And boom, family, this is the final result. So this is the one that I put inside of the bowl. And I also took some halfway during the solidification. But halfway throughout the solidification process, I took some and put it in a little container just to show you how it looks when you put it in a container. So as you can see, I put it in this little container right here. I'm gonna unscrew it for y'all, and you can see it is solid. So at this point, it's pretty much ready to be used. You can stick your finger in it, as you can see right here, and you can start putting it on your skin. And it's a natural, hydrating, nourishing lotion. And of course, I smell like frankincense and almonds, and it just smells amazing. So I'm gonna take a little bit more to show you the consistency right here. This is like your typical shea butter or any type of body butter that you have without the harmful chemicals that you're gonna find in a lot of stores. Now, what a lot of people don't know and realize is that a lot of these topicals that we use, lotions and stuff like that, have a lot of harmful chemicals that not only dry your skin out on the back end, so you gotta keep on buying lotion, but you gotta be mindful that our skin is actually an organ, and so a lot of this stuff is actually poisoning us chronically. So when you put something on your skin for years and years and years, we now have chronic illnesses that we once didn't have due to the topicals that we're using. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of advice on that to help you be more mindful of what you're consuming, what you're putting on your skin. As you can see, I'm hydrated right now, man, you feel me? I'm feeling good and it smells amazing. So make sure to try out my lotion recipe. Let me know what you think, comment down below. As I stated at the beginning of this video, I will be linking all of the ingredients. I do want to say this though, I have many different ways that I make my lotion. This is just one way that I make it. Another way that I do make it is I also add coconut oil in it when it's in this oil form, and then I also let that solidify up, and then that kind of gives it more of a coconut scent, which sometimes I do want, sometimes I don't. But for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to show you guys how I make my own lotion, okay? Or butter, okay? Body butter. So with that being said, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, family, peace, love, and light. You know what's coming next, man. Stay blessed.